How's it going today? Today's topic is the mind control of... I'm not going to name any brands, but it's mind control, and it's, let's just say, there's a lot of symbolism in their logo. So I was actually with my little sister last night, and we were watching some of these programs that I used to watch when I was very little. And it was a movie on the Greek mythos of Hercules. And I watched this movie, and I'm talking about this animated version that the company that I'm talking about put out, many times as a child. And emotionally it felt very, like I was just having what was called a boldest teeny. Like I just felt really big and then really small when I would watch it. But the way this company works is that I've noticed is that it's definitely trying to instill emotions that are unhealthy and unloving in some way. Subliminally, that's happening, I'd like to just give some examples. I mean, when the part where basically the Lilith female enchantress, love interest kind of gets into starts singing like the sappy love song. There's a part where the chorus was singing in the background was just a moon, and like the way what they said and everything, it was like too much, and you can really feel the fact that the people who created this movie knew their mythos, did their research, and also knew how to instill the emotions inside of a lot of sexual innuendo. More sexual innuendo than the movies that I prefer to watch now. It just wasn't clean, man. It really wasn't clean at all. The weakness that a girl can put over you, it kind of came through to that movie, I didn't understand it quite clear initially, but it came through for me in that movie. But also the way they portrayed it and the emotions that they instilled, and the way that they're so crafty at instilling emotions inside of small children at a young age. I was kind of doing a meditation visualization process while watching the movie, because I was just watching it because my little sister asked, and usually I always say no. Like and I even, getting guidance telling me to leave at times, but nope, I sat through the whole movie last night, and because I really put a lot of energy into watching that movie, and then now there's more information. I have more information I can base it off of and kind of come with a more real life conclusion. That's one of the greatest ways to take back your energy is to really be present into what's happening, into realizing that it's just on the TV. Yeah, they're putting all these subliminals and they're trying to paint your inner world. But once you come into that realization of truth, of what the fact that you're just watching something on a TV or a movie screen, and there's other pieces and bits of the information that they got it from, and you've already got more source information, then it's easier to snap out of the trance and recognize that this is just a portrayal of a source information, and it's just you're just watching it on a TV, like no subliminal insight that will make you think otherwise, or make you think it's bigger than the fact that you're just sitting in front of a box. And that's where I got to the point yesterday, because what I meant by finding the source information, I would just like to bring up a couple of topics, is the way they portrayed the elements in that movie and the Titans. That was very interesting, because there were 5 of them. It looked like there were just 4 of them in the beginning, and the 5th one being a huge monster with one eye, a Cyclops. And he doesn't, and the fact that he doesn't really have an element, but he's the first element that Hercules has to face, and Hercules has no power when he faces him. And after he faces him, he regains his power, and he breaks the contract. And the contract that, so I mean, contract revocations is shown in that movie. It's right there. It's right there. Hades constantly offering contracts, making deals. It's really right there. Just showing the strength of heart, constantly going back to the heart, but then at the same time constantly going back to lust. He gives up his godhood to go back to Earth and be, there. And that was kind of, to me, that was obviously, free will choice, but do you think that has no correlation to, Michael Tellinger's Slave Species of the Gods, or any of these other texts that suggests, the Enki and Enlil story of one, higher being or intelligent being coming to the planet and intermingling with the human race. That's another suggestion that that comes up, really comes up. And then now I was watching it at first. Now I'm not as polarized. I could see the fact that Hades is not supposed to be some type of bad guy. It's just it was really crazy, man. They had the past, present, and future. The present was green, the past was blue, and the future was purple. You know what I mean? And there was some type of they represented time, the 3 of them, which I found that was really interesting, because the green one, the one who's from the now, is the one who just told him the future. And really, I was having that whole day yesterday was similar to the movie. And I just saw the subliminal interference. Alright. So yeah, just really living a reflective life and being able to journal about everything and seeing the patterns, and also just letting people, do what they do at times would really take you to another place. 'Cause I would have never watched that movie alone. However, Ever, ever, never. So, surrendering and allowing people to do what they do around you, it could mean something deeper than what you think. Especially if you're reading, especially if you're doing your research. It was like watching a totally different movie this time around. I couldn't believe it. You know, whoever did that movie, just they've done that same research too, to an extent, or they're raised in a situation where their abilities were easily on tap, which is also just what it was. It was good. It was good to see that. And as I was sending good vibes to the whole staff who helped co-create that, and I really just was grateful that I could reclaim my emotional energy from this type of story, because I've seen this story in my life, and nobody, I don't know. It's just not. It's not right. It's very misleading. I thought that was very misleading the way they portrayed that story, personally. So I just want to wrap this up with saying, any movie that you're particularly thinking about that had an impression on you as a younger age, if you've done a lot of research, if you feel like you're not the same person, or you feel like you've gone through a rebirth process, you somehow get the opportunity to watch it again, then you'll be able to see how it's affected your life, how it's affected your relationships, how it's affected your outside world life, your relationships with the outside world and the inner world, and really gain perspective. So if somebody invites you to watch the movie, just watch it. Just watch it. That was something that I had trouble, accepting. I couldn't believe somebody would ask me to watch a movie, somebody who's something as openly mind controlled up and mind controlled out as that. But really, after you know that it's mind controlled, then you're not going to let it control your mind. But just being able to snap out of letting it paint your inner world, and just seeing it as a box in front of you. That's all it was. And that's it. That's my experience. Alright, guys. Visit wholereflections.com. My YouTube is Abraha Burhanu. Please subscribe. Leave a comment.